Hey, I'm Todd. Thanks for choosing to watch my video, and if you would subscribe it, like it, all that stuff, that'd be great. Otherwise, enjoy the video, and I hope it gives you the information you need and is helpful to you. Take care. Driver's side CV axle replacement, CV axle assembly replacement on a 2007 Kia Rondo. 21mm lug nuts. Break the lug nuts loose a turn or two. All bolts and nuts are left to loosen, right to tighten. Jack up the vehicle after you've broken the lug nuts loose. Got a pinch weld here you can use. Got a nice piece of metal here, and even this kind of far in here, but you got plenty of metal in here to jack up on. Use safety stands, protect yourself, get the vehicle off the ground, take the lug nuts off the rest of the way. Remove the cotter key here, cotter pin. They can be reused to keep it nice and straight, put it in and out. Otherwise, I did get a new one with my new CV axle assembly. I'm using a 32mm. You can stick a screwdriver in the ends of the rotor here, either here or here, depending on tightening or loosening, and that'll hold it down here while you're loosening the nut. If you just have a 1/2-inch breaker bar, that'll work. And then up here when you're going to tighten it. So there you go. It's free, which is nice. If it's not free, maybe put the nut on here and so it's flush with the end, and give it a few taps. It should move for you. Hopefully spray with some rust penetrant lubricant of some kind. What's next here? Oh, pretty nice. Alright, then we got two 17mm bolts right here we can take out. One here, one there. We'll zip those out and separate the knuckle from the lower ball joint. So I turn the steering wheel to the right, so this sticks out further. You can maybe bungee that out of the way or something, or have a friend come over and help you and hold it out of the way. I'm going to get in here with a pry bar. Pry it out of there with a sharp smack. Got some fluid coming out. I will be changing some transmission fluid on this, so it doesn't matter to me as much, but you want to maybe catch this in a pan. I'm going to pack this little channel here with some grease to help center this clip. The clip, once you push it inside the transmission, is going to collapse down into the groove. So I had to go ahead and bungee it to get it out of the way a little bit. We want to try and get as straight a shot as possible into the transmission, because we'll have to kind of push that inner joint into place. Got that clip packed with grease. Got some grease on here to help with the seal in the transmission. And so again, the difficult part is getting it a straight alignment and having enough oomph to push it in. Can't say much more about that except trying to get it aligned as much as possible. Maybe get this held down as well. Give yourself some space. Maybe you can disconnect this ABS speed sensor, 10mm roll here if you want. You might be able to pull it off to the side a little bit more. So we'll be fighting with this, really. That's all I can say. so I think you saw. So I just turned this and it just popped into place. I tell you, that lower control arm is a real pain in the butt. So I would really recommend having someone come over to help you hold things out of the way while you're manipulating things. So we'll tighten this up. We'll put the two 17mm bolts in underneath. Here's how much fluid basically came out. A cap full of transmission fluid came out. So I guess I'll show you where to put it back in. However, if you jack up the driver's side of the vehicle and it's tilted enough, it might not come out. So there is that. So we'll bolt things back together. Again, you put a screwdriver in here in the fins, and then you can tighten this down with your torque wrench, and it'll hold all by yourself instead of having someone step on the brakes. So these bolts back here, the two 17mm, are 72 to 86 foot-pounds. And this nut apparently is 144 foot-pounds to 202 foot-pounds. So maybe in the 160 range, and then we'll see where the holes line up to put your cotter key back in. Again, make sure you start all bolts by hand. Don't want to be stripping anything. So I was at 152 and got really close here. So I can go just a tad more, and then we'll put the cotter key in. Put the wheel on, tighten the lug nuts in a crisscross pattern. Do it as tight as you can up in the air, and when the wheel starts spinning, you can go ahead and lower it down and finish your torquing with the wheels on the ground. .65 to 79 foot-pounds for the lug nut torque. That is replacing your driver's side CV axle on your 2007 and other model years Kia Rondo. We'll see about adding a little cup of transmission fluid to this then. So there's the dipstick tube right there with the dipstick right here. And you can add your, it was just a cap off my brake clean, so you can try and catch it, and you can just try and put right back in there with what came out. You should be good to go. Here's my transmission funnel, has a narrower neck for transmission tubes. You just add some in there, and then you'll probably be good to go. There's two sections of a cold and a hot section on the dipstick. Ooh. Hot section right here, cold section probably just on the tip. But I think if you just add what came out, you should be fine, as long as there's no crazy leaks. If you want to check it hot, you can probably drive it for about 7 to 10 miles and come back, run it through the gears, put it back in park, and then check your fluid level that way. Check it running in park. That's about it on your CV axle replacement.